So we now move on to the physical properties of HCl gas. We just saw the preparation of HCl gas. First thing is color, odor and taste. Now always remember, whenever you are asked to write 4 physical properties of any gas, you cannot take color, odor and taste as separate points. अगर 4 पॉइंट लिखना है तो चारों के चारों पॉइंट में ये जो points है, color, odor and taste are one single point. Okay, so remember this thing, that color, odor and taste. So color is colorless. Odor, it's pungent choking odor. Okay, HCl gas has got a pungent choking odor and it is slightly sour to taste. Now sour to taste, of course you are not going to taste it, but the main thing is that sometimes the smell itself can identify that okay, ये थोड़ा खट्टा लग रहा है. I mean, you can easily smell that sourness in that particular gas. Physiological nature, it's non-poisonous and inhaled causes burning sensation. So yeah, it is non-poisonous, but yes, if it is inhaled in a good quantity, it may give you a burning sensation over here. So nose में थोड़ा irritation आएगा due to burning sensation, because nose में जो moisture रहता है, that moisture is going to form acid over there, and due to which there will be a burning sensation. Density, 1.28 times heavier than air. We just saw that thing in the previous part. So it was 1.28 times, that is vapor density of air is 14.4, whereas that of HCl is 18.25. Solubility, yes, very important. Highly soluble in water, 1 volume of H2O dissolves about 452 volumes of HCl at room temperature. HCl gas fumes in moist air. Now, for solubility, there is a special test. There is a special kind of experiment which will be which you will definitely conduct in your schools also, because it's a very quite an amazing kind of a you feel it very nice to see. It's a nice to see kind of an experiment. So we just call it the fountain experiment. So regarding solubility, I'll just do one thing. I'll just go through this particular part and then talk about the fountain experiment, which is just given down in the chat in this particular page itself. So yeah, I'll just discuss the solubility part first. So yeah, in 1 volume, that means if I take 1 drop or 1 ml of water, then I can dissolve 452 volumes of HCl in that 1 drop. So you can imagine how great is the solubility of HCl in water. HCl can immediately merge into the water very easily because it can absorb, it can get absorbed in water in the ratio of 1:452. You know, that's a great kind of difference. You will be surprised, ammonia is much more than that. Okay, so HCl gas, this is the important give reason question. HCl gas fumes in moisture. And this is the question. Why? Why does HCl? If you put HCl gas in a dish like this, and if it is a moisture around, you will find it will start fuming. Okay. So what is the reason? The reason is that due to its high solubility, HCl gas fumes in moisture and forms a mist of droplets of HCl gas. So the moisture which is present in the air is going to absorb the HCl gas, and that is moisture which has got absorbed, the HCl gas absorbed in it forms into acid, and that will be forms the droplets of the acid which is going to come out as fumes. So that is why the HCl gas fumes in moist air. Yeah, fountain experiment, the high solubility of HCl gas in water is demonstrated by the fountain experiment. We'll just see that in just 2 minutes. So fountain experiment, of course I'm not going to show you the fountain experiment, I'll just explain you. Next is liquefaction. Liquefies at temperature around 10 degrees Celsius at 40 atmospheric pressure. So at 10 degrees Celsius it is going to liquefy. So gas, HCl gas, if I cool it, okay, and I cool it at a temperature of 10 degrees Celsius and 40 atmosphere, means I am giving pressure also and decreasing the temperature also, and then the HCl gas will turn into liquid. And similarly at boiling point, liquid hydrogen chloride boils at -83 degrees Celsius. So at -83 degrees Celsius, liquid will turn into gas. So that is one part. And freezing. So if I want to freeze HCl gas into some solid content of HCl gas, it will be at -113 degrees Celsius. So melting point is -83 and boiling, freezing, sorry, yeah, of course, melting point is minus 113, that is freezing point is minus 113, and the boiling point is 83, minus 83. Okay, negative. It's all negative because it's going to be cooled, because naturally it is in gaseous form. So we are going to cool it to make it liquid, and then further cool it to make it solid. So minus 83 for liquid and minus 113 for solid. Now, experiment to show that HCl gas is heavier than air. So it's a very simple experiment. What you are going to do is that we know that HCl is a non-combustible gas. It is not going to support combustion. So we are taking a glass jar containing HCl, and we are taking another glass jar containing a candle in it. We burn the candle. We keep the lit candle, and then what we do is that I cannot see it, but even I pour it. I act as if I am pouring the gas into that particular jar. So yes, it is going to be poured because HCl is heavier than air. So it is going to fall down and enter into the flask. So when I am going to take a beaker over here and containing a candle inside, so if this is a candle inside, right, and if I take the glass jar over here, and this glass jar which contains HCl gas, and I pour it like this, of course I cannot see it, but I can act as if I am pouring. So it will actually pour down, and when it pours down, you will find that in a few seconds this is going to blow off. The candle is going to blow off. Why? Because HCl got डाउनवर्ड डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ एयर हुआ, एयर बाहर निकल गया, HCl अंदर आ गया, HCl doesn't support burning, and that's why the candle is going to extinguish. So this shows that HCl is heavier than air. So this experiment proves that HCl is heavier than air. So that was the experiment. Now the next experiment is as I told you, a very fascinating one, which is called as a fountain experiment. So for a fountain experiment, what we take is a round bottom flask. This round bottom flask, what we take, is completely filled with the HCl gas. So there is HCl gas inside this particular thing. You are going to put in one hole, there will be a dropper, you know, the rubber dropper, ink dropper. You are just taking a dropper having quantity of water in it. So there is a small quantity of water in this dropper. Okay, and then there will be a delivery tube like this, which will be something like this, a delivery tube, which is made to sit inside water over here. This is water over here. Now, what we do is that we just add a small quantity of blue litmus paper. So, blue litmus solution in it. So, this will be a blue litmus solution. Okay, so this is the apparatus, this is the condition. Of course, you are going to put it in a stand because it can hawa mein to latkega nahi hai. But you are going to connect it like this: water, a tube, HCl gas inside, a dropper over here. Okay. Now, so what is the condition? The condition is this jar is completely filled with HCl, which is not going to move anywhere. There is water, a few drops of water inside over here. This delivery tube is connected to a trough of water which is having blue litmus solution in it. Now you are going to press this thing so that a few drops of water are put inside the jar. As soon as the few drops of water goes inside, what is going to happen? The complete HCl is going to get fused inside this drops of water, because I know that one volume, it is this way, one volume of water is going to absorb 452 volumes of HCl. 452 volumes. So दिया 4-5 ड्रॉप अंदर डाल दिया तो यहाँ का पूरा HCl पूरा उसके अंदर डिसॉल्व हो जाएगा. अगर यहाँ पे पूरा का पूरा HCl का dissolves in the water over here, what will remain inside? What will remain inside will be just vacuum. There will be low pressure generated. Due to the low pressure generated over here, what will happen? This which is a blue color solution, will enter into this particular thing and will be giving you a red colored fountain. Why red color fountain? Because inside now are these few droplets of the gas, which is the HCl gas, which is acidic in nature. So because the blue litmus turns red when it comes in contact with acid. So over here, what is going to happen? You will not get the blue color fountain, but you get a pink color fountain or a red color fountain of the litmus solution because of the low pressure created by the absorption of the HCl in this droplet. So as it gets inside, it is going to turn into red. So this is what they are saying, that the observation will be that HCl gas present in the HCl in the flask dissolves in water due to its high solubility, creating a partial vacuum in the flask. The outside pressure being higher pushes the litmus solution up in the jet tube, which emerges out at the end of the tube as red fountain. Inference: HCl gas is highly soluble in water and acidic in nature. So this is also the two things what we are going to prove by the fountain experiment. The fountain experiment gives you two outcomes, conclusions. One is solubility, highly soluble, HCl gas highly soluble in water, and secondly is that blue turns red, that means it is acidic in nature. So this two inference is what we get by this particular experiment. We now see the chemical properties of HCl gas. So chemical properties: combustion, non-combustible, non-supporter of combustion, does not burn, extinguishes a glowing splinter. So if you are seeing HCl gas is not going to help support combustion. That is what we saw in that particular earlier experiment which I showed you about the candle. The candle stopped or extinguished when it came in contact with HCl. Action of litmus, of course, acidic in nature, hence moist litmus, blue turns red, orange turns pink, phenolphthalein colorless becomes colorless, and alkaline phenolphthalein pink to colorless. Thermal dissociation: hydrogen chloride dissociates in hydrogen and chlorine on heating over 500 degrees Celsius. So till 500 degrees Celsius it is not going to decompose into hydrogen and chlorine, but when it is going to temperature above 500 degrees Celsius, hydrogen chloride will dissociate into hydrogen and chlorine. So that is at above 500 degrees Celsius. Now reaction with of hydrogen chloride with other substances. First thing is the test method which we use for testing whether the glass jar is filled or not. That is nothing but with ammonia. So with ammonia we know very well that NH3 plus HCl will give you dense white fumes of NH4Cl. So that's the thing, that when glass jar containing hydrogen chloride is inverted over a jar full of ammonia gas, dense white fumes are formed. These fumes consist of particles of solid ammonium chloride suspended in air. The two gases, ammonia and chlorine, HCl, combine to give you a solid compound. So this is an example of two gases, okay, two neutral gases giving me a solid compound. So these are the two gases, not neutral gases of course, the two gases giving me a solid compound. Next is metals. Hydrogen chloride gas reacts with many metals, for example calcium, magnesium, zinc, iron, especially when heated to form the respective metals and hydrogen. So yeah, it is going to happen that any particular one which is going to be above hydrogen, any particular metal above hydrogen, they may react with HCl gas to expel out the hydrogen from that HCl gas and give out the chloride of that gas, chloride of that metal. So we have a simple displacement reaction takes place between the metal and the acid. If the metal can form two chlorides, usually the lower chloride is formed in the case of iron. So always lower chlorides will be formed. Now this is again why we use salts. When we understood salts, we came to know that simple displacement was taking place in lower chlorides. In higher chlorides it was synthesis, that's right, it was direct combination. Fe plus Cl will give me FeCl3, but when I want FeCl2 I'll be using decomposition, simple displacement reaction. So again it will be Zn plus HCl giving me ZnCl2 plus H2. So that's the reaction. I can also have for Fe plus 2HCl giving me FeCl2 plus H2. So these are the reactions which are going to take place when HCl gas comes in contact with the metals, active metals. So there is zinc, magnesium, iron is going to give you this reaction, and hydrogen gas is going to be released. Hydrogen gas, you are going to show it in the form of an arrow upwards. So this will be arrow upwards. And yes, this is in a gaseous form. That's why you're putting it as G to show that it is gaseous in nature. So this was about the reactions over here. Now we see how the using the HCl gas, how we are going to prepare HCl acid. Okay, so now HCl gas का part जो है वो खत्म हुआ. We understood it about the preparations and the chemical reactions and the chemical properties, physical properties also. So now we are going to see how the HCl acid is going to be prepared. Now you know very well that if I am using hydrogen chloride gas and I just add it to water, yeah, it is going to become HCl acid. So that's a simple thing, that I need to add water to HCl gas, or I need to add HCl to water. So it's two ways. Either I'm going to take water in a large quantity and put HCl inside, or I'm going to take HCl in a large quantity and put water inside. Now, what will be better and what is not better? We see that if I'm using HCl in a large quantity and put water, then HCl will have a tendency to absorb the water or bhagega water ke paas mein, and will be spurred out, and there will be a chances that you having burnt of the HCl acid, because it will be highly, concentration will be high, means ऐसे भी strong acid है, तो difficult हो जाएगा. So what we do? We take more water and less amount of HCl inside. So what we basically try to do is, in the collection method, so समझो यहाँ पे मेरा पूरा का पूरा equipments है for preparation of HCl. So this is the preparation of HCl gas. So there is an outlet of the HCl gas coming here, right? Now what we do is that we take a trough of water. Okay, this is the trough of water, and we take a tube and put it over here like this. Right? We are going to put it over here like this. Now, the moment you put it like this, what will happen? HCl gas will come over here, but the solubility of HCl is very high. That's why, जैसे ही gas इधर आएगा, immediately gas is going to get in contact with water, absorb a huge amount of gas into the water, and hence there will be a low pressure created here, and the water will get inside and will damage the whole equipment over here. समझा? क्या होगा? The gas enters from here, goes here. When it reaches here, it is going to get mixed with the water. When it mixes with the water, water has a huge greed for the HCl gas, because it can absorb 452 volumes of it, one small drop. So what will happen? The water will run towards the HCl gas, because immediately it gets dissolved and there will be low pressure created, and that low pressure के कारण water will from both these areas will penetrate inside and go up, and जैसे वो फाउंटेन एक्सपेरिमेंट हुआ था, yes exactly, the फाउंटेन एक्सपेरिमेंट कैसे हुआ था कि ऊपर वैक्यूम जनरेट हुआ और पूरे का पूरा पानी अंदर घुस गया. सेम थिंग हैपेंस ओवर हियर. द फाउंटेन एक्सपेरिमेंट जैसा कंडीशन आएगा और यहाँ पे पूरा फाउंटेन हो जाएगा. तो सोचो ये डिवाइस का क्या होगा, राइट? सब फूट जाएगा. 200 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे तो ऑलरेडी है, सिर्फ लेबोरेटरी में किया तो भी, तो अगर इंडस्ट्री में किया तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई इट विल बी अ बिग प्रॉब्लम ओवर हियर. सो व्हाट आर द कंडीशंस हियर? There is a huge amount of back suction. What is happening over here? There is a huge amount of back suction which is taking place. So we need to somehow avoid this back suction. So to avoid the back suction, we are using a particular method for preparation of HCl acid, and that is called as inverted funnel arrangement. So we are going to make an inverted funnel arrangement. So what we are doing, instead of, so now what we do is, this is everything is normal, there is no problem, this is HCl, and we have got this tube very much over here up to this point, but then instead of continuing the tube till the end, ये है water cup layer, we are going to place a inverted funnel like this. Okay, we are going to put a inverted funnel like this. So what happens? The gas is going to come here, get mixed over here. It is the water will try to go inside, but the area over here is very large, so it is just going to be like this. क्योंकि यहाँ से there will be an interruption of the air which is going to go inside, because of low pressure. See, when there is a low pressure, everything is attracted towards it. So the low pressure will be attracting the water also and the air also. So अगर air को जगह मिलेगा तो air पहले अंदर भागेगा, और क्योंकि air अंदर भागेगा इसलिए ये water अंदर नहीं जा पाएगा, and we are controlling the back suction. So by using the inverted funnel arrangement, we are reducing or we are eliminating or avoiding the back suction which is going to take place, and hence the devices what we are using over here are intact. We are not having any problems with the devices because there is no water entering into this thing. So this is called as the inverted funnel arrangement. So here we see hydrogen chloride in water using a special funnel arrangement. Direct absorption of HCl gas in water using a delivery tube causes back suction. Back suction. Hydrogen chloride gas is extremely soluble in water. If a delivery tube through which HCl gas is passed in directly immersed in water, the rate of absorption of HCl gas is high, hence a partial vacuum is created in the tube. The pressure outside being higher causes the water to be pushed up into the delivery tube and damages the apparatus. This is called as back suction. So yes, as I told you earlier, that if I am using a normal tube, delivery tube, then there will be a high pressure, which is a low pressure generated inside the tube, and hence there will be the forcing of the water into the tube, and which will damage the apparatus. Instead, what we are doing is special arrangement, that is funnel arrangement, is used to avoid back suction. The funnel arrangement prevents or minimizes back suction of water and provides a larger surface area. You can see the surface area which was very thin has now become a larger surface area. So two advantages. One is minimize the back suction, and second is provides a larger surface area for absorption of HCl gas. So HCl gas gets absorbed at a larger surface area when you are using this arrangement. The rim of the funnel is placed so that it just touches the trough containing water. If back suction occurs, the water rises up the funnel and the level outside the funnel falls, creating an air gap. So it is just over there. As soon as this goes inside, there will be a drop in the water level, due to which the air enters into the air gap. So if back suction occurs, the water rises up the funnel and level outside the funnel falls, creating an air gap between the rim of the funnel and the surface of water. The pressure outside and inside equalizes, and the water which has risen in the funnel falls down again. This process continues till the water in the trough is saturated with HCl, hydrogen chloride gas, resulting in the formation of hydrochloric acid. Okay, so that's why water with HCl gas will form into hydrochloric acid. The process continues, hence hydrochloric acid is not prepared in laboratory by passing hydrogen chloride gas directly through water, but prepared using a special funnel arrangement. So yeah, this is also a very good give reason question, that why you use funnel arrangement for the, or we can just they will ask how is HCl prepared in laboratory, how is HCl hydrochloric acid prepared in laboratory, and state why. So here you will have to say it is prepared by the inverted funnel arrangement, so because to avoid the back suction and give a better surface area. So that was about the preparation, and now we move on to the properties of hydrochloric acid, that is physical properties. We will just go to physical properties. First, color, colorless. Pure HCl gas is acid. Pure HCl acid, pure hydrochloric acid is colorless. Odor and taste, slightly pungent in the smell, so it smells slightly pungent odor and sharp sour taste. All acids, we had learned earlier also, all acids are sour to taste, all bases are bitter to taste. So here it is sour to taste. Physiological nature, corrosive in nature, causes blisters on the skin. So here it is highly corrosive in nature. So when it falls on something, it will start corroding over there. At the same time, even on the skin, it is going to give you blisters. It is going to give you boils sort of thing. So the blisters will be there on the skin. Density wise, it is 1.2 gram per cc at 40% of the weight of acid. That is density 1.2. Boiling point, Now a solution of HCl is in water forms a constant boiling mixture with water at boiling point 109.8. So it is boiling point is 109.8 degrees Celsius, which forms a constant boiling mixture. So this is a important terminology in case of acid. So it is called as constant boiling mixture. Now what is that? See, if I want to make some acid concentrated, what is the possibility? I can add more HCl to it. HCl gas ज़्यादा add करो, या तो मैं ऐसे भी सोचता हूँ अगर मैं उसमें से पानी कम कर दिया तो, if I heat it and I evaporate the water, what will happen? Automatically HCl will become concentrated. Yeah, it should work, right? No. It will work only till the temperature which is less than 109.8 degrees Celsius. As soon as you are going to heat it above 109 degrees Celsius, it is going to form a mixture wherein whatever is going to be evaporated will have the same ratio of HCl gas as well as water. Got it? So after a particular concentration, it will happen that साथ में पानी तो देखो evaporate करना था to reduce the amount of water and increase the HCl content, but what is happening here? HCl भी जा रहा है और पानी भी जा रहा है, तो automatically the concentration of that particular acid remains steady. Okay, that is what they say over here. That is, on boiling a mixture evolves out the vapors of both acid and water in the same proportion in the liquid. Hence, dilute HCl cannot be concentrated beyond a certain concentration by distilling or boiling the dilute acid. So I cannot heat a dilute acid and convert it into concentrated acid by just trying to evaporate the water which is present inside the acid, because after a certain point the same quantity of acid and the same quantity of HCl gas is going to be evaporating from that particular acid. Hence it is called, this particular phenomena is called as constant boiling mixture. So it is going to form a constant, HCl is going to form a constant boiling mixture at the boiling point 109.8 degree Celsius. So this was about the physical properties of HCl. We now move on to the chemical properties of HCl in the next video.